What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we about to have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through today. I know it has been a while. Just for the new folks that might be tuning in, we will be going over some of the news from TV and movies news that happened throughout the week. I'll catch you up. I'll give you my thoughts on a bunch of different things. We've got to talk about what do we have? We have some DCU updates with James Gunn. We got some updates with Jonathan Majors. We got some updates. I guess I started a little something when I talked about Colman Domingo. So we are going to talk about all of that, and then of course some other things as well. But let me also just mention something, y'all. Apparently this month, given the holidays, and I hope y'all had a good holiday, by the way. News is very slow. So just to let y'all know, a lot of the news that we're going to talk about is from almost 2 weeks ago, because there's just not a lot happening. So, don't be surprised if, maybe we take another break a little bit later on, because, like if there ain't nothing to really talk about, guess what? I'm going to take this break. Okay, like I'm gonna take a break. Matter of fact, I should also mention during Christmas break, there will be no live. So y'all go spend time with your family, hang out, have a good time. But just a heads up, no live during Christmas break. I'll be out there with my family. We'll be doing some things. So we will not be in attendance. But just to kind of give some other people some updates from I'm not done with y'all yet. Okay, I'm not done with y'all with from. I have a huge interview that y'all will not want to miss. I'm trying to get it done. I'm gonna try and get it ready for y'all by tomorrow. I will try. Huge. Y'all want answers? Tune in. Do not miss that. Please don't miss it. Please. Oh my goodness, man. Listen, I was super excited to get that interview. And y'all gonna want to tune in for that. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'll have that. I think I also have a theory I gotta put up for you guys for from. So yeah, we're gonna get the from stuff out the way. But y'all gonna want to tune in for that. Just trust me on that. Anyway, what else do we have? I think that's about it. Let's see, who do we have here to welcome back? Dex, what is up? Good to see you. Paulette, good to see you. Milan, how are you? Gothic Chick, good to see you as well. DB, how you doing? Wouldn't be alive without Miss Harper. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. Callow, appreciate you coming through. Leroy, how you doing? My man John Robertson, how are you, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. Shar, good to see you. Smokey, hello. I hope I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. Diane, how are you? Good to see you again. MC, best of wishes. Right back at you. Last of my kin, hello. What up, Doc? Good to see you. Minister Crush, appreciate you coming through. T-Ville, how you doing? My man Nelson V, what is up? Who else? Jay, what is up? Good to see you. Treese, I see you. Corey, thank you for coming through. Theo, what is going on? Got the homie Rhonda's here. Hello. Mary, appreciate you coming through. We got the homie Kiki West. Kiki, I'm gonna need your help a little bit later on. We're gonna be talking about some Game of Thrones stuff too. So I'm gonna need your help and the rest of y'all that be reading the books. CJ, what's up? My man Mike, how you doing? Hey, yo, Mike, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for showing my little girl some birthday love with the Cash App. Thank you, brother, for that. I really appreciate y'all. And shout out to everyone, by the way, that had reached out. Actually, I want to be accurate with that because I want to give y'all some proper props. Let's see. I saw a couple because it was my daughter's birthday a couple weeks ago. Loki, shout out to Loki. Thank you so much for the $25 Cash App. My man Mike, $50 for the baby girl. And trust me, look, it's all gone. Like, it's all gone. Daddy, can I get that Barbie house? It's all gone. So thank you. Appreciate y'all so much. I had no idea Barbie houses. Why they hold on. Listen, I mean, when I was a kid, I know you want some action figures. I get it, girls. They probably want some little Barbie dolls. I get it. Why these Barbie houses gotta cost like over $100? What is Barbie paying rent? Like, why are they so expensive? I don't understand. I'm like, listen, I didn't need nothing but my imagination back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I used to have my X-Men, my Transformers, my Ninja Turtles. Man, we ain't had no house for them. We was out there they were just out there. Just raw on my bed or just on the floor, I had to make up stuff with my imagination. We was like, man, we in the castle right now. No, we in the spaceship right now. Why you need a whole house? And these houses, they come fancy too. They got elevators. They got all this other stuff. I just don't. So thank you. I just want to say thank you. I didn't know these things were that expensive. I didn't know. Barbie out here need all these accessories. Where Barbie going? Where is she going? Why she need all this stuff? Why she going skiing? Where? We live in Chicago. Where you gonna go skiing in Chicago? Sorry, let me get back to it. Ism, what is going on? Jam, good to see you. Appreciate you. I had to get that vent out. I'm sorry. Kristen, thank you so much. Breezy, what's going on? Who else did I see? I saw a couple other people. Latrice, how are you? T'Challa's in the house. What is up? Elizabeth, hello. Eric, good to see you. My man Raymond's back. Andrew, hello. Zia, the homie, what is going on? Who else? My man Travis is here. Hello. Jay, good to see you. My man Philroy is back. Good to see you as well. And shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. I really do appreciate y'all for coming through. All right, let's get through. Let's see. Do we have a quick update? I think we got one quick update. Invincible. So we do have a little something for Invincible. I know it's been taking a long time, but we do have finally a date, and it's not that far. This is going to be for the second half of Invincible. You will get that season February 6th. So February 6th, listen, what, 2 months? About 2 months away. We're gonna get it. Well, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months away. We're gonna get Invincible with the second half. So let's go. That should be interesting. You know what? I'm about to hold on. Forget Invincible. Let me just give, this is super impromptu. But I do want to do I want to review it? Nah, I ain't gonna review it. I wanted to give you guys a little something that I had watched over the week, and somebody had mentioned it, but I want to just kind of bring it up for you guys here. Let me see if I can get the website. Hold on. It's a show I wasn't checking for, but for whatever reason, they got me. Okay. Let me just share this with y'all real quick. It was this show called Pantheon. Shout out to the people that have mentioned it before. So, all right, Pantheon is on Netflix. I was minding my business. I'm trying to watch some other stuff, catch up on things, and all of a sudden I see this Pantheon show up on Netflix. And I was like, okay, what is this? Now, here's the thing, okay? The best way I can describe Pantheon is, if you like Black Mirror, which you should be watching Black Mirror. Black Mirror is fantastic. To me, Pantheon is like, what would happen if Black Mirror did an episode on Apple? Like Apple, the computer company. Okay. So if you take Apple and you put Apple in the Black Mirror universe, I feel like that's pretty much what you're going to get with Pantheon. So I didn't know this even existed. Apparently, this was on AMC Plus. I didn't even know there was an AMC Plus, but this thing came out like 2 years ago. No, I had no idea it existed. Then it came on Netflix, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and let me just watch it. Let me just see what this is about. As an IT professional, as someone who, enjoys sci-fi stuff, I really enjoyed this. I really like the concept. What I liked the most about it was the fact that they took an idea that, you know what? It doesn't seem that far fetched. It does sound like science fiction, but it does sound realistic at the same time. It is definitely something that I could imagine them doing as a live action, but given the certain concepts that they went through, it makes sense that they had to make it animated. So I wouldn't say it's a slow burn, but this is not something that's like super action packed, but it is more conceptual in terms of the consequences, the philosophy, the themes of what do you do with technology. I don't want to ruin it too much. I just think that it's really interesting if you kind of jump into it completely cold, and just, if you like sci-fi, again, if you like Black Mirror, this should be right up your alley. Matter of fact, Black Mirror kind of did episodes very similar to this whole series anyway. I don't know if there was anything bad, I'd say. I mean, there were some minor things that were predictable, but overall, I enjoyed it. I don't know if they're gonna do a season 2, but I would like for them to do a season 2. They don't have to, but I think it'd be interesting to see where they potentially could go if they do a season 2. So that's just my quick recommendation. If you like the sci-fi, if you like the realistic stuff, I would definitely recommend Pantheon. And once again, shout out to whoever it was. I saw somebody had said it in the comments. I was already watching it, but I like the fact that other people were also watching it too. So if you have seen Pantheon, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't spoil it for nobody. Wait, shut up. Are you serious? There is a season 2? I didn't know that. Oh, now I gotta go look for this. Oh, snaps. Okay. Now I gotta go look for this because I didn't know. I did not know. Thank you for that. If season 2 already exists, I'm about to go find this. It's clearly not on Netflix yet. And I don't know. AMC, man, like y'all just let this fall like that. Y'all just let Netflix take it. I hope y'all made some money. Anyway, I hope season 2 is just as good as 1. I hope it is. But we'll see. We'll see. But thank you so much for that. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. All right. What we got? Rhonda, what you got? I saw Pantheon and was like, wow. So, of course, Rhonda, you be on it. You be on it. I'm glad you saw it, and I'm glad you liked it. Thank you for that, Rhonda. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to, we've got some new roles and actors, different actors that are getting different roles, different movies, different things. So I just figured we might as well combine them all together so we could talk about them. First up, we got Masters of the Universe is going to get a new man at arms, and that is none other than Idris Elba, who can do everything and anything. Idris Elba is going to be the new man in arms, and oh my gosh, I don't know how to feel about this. I think he's actually fine to work this role. I get the vibes of, after seeing what he did in Pacific Rim, I feel like he can do this very easily. I've always been a fan of Masters of the Universe. I like He-Man. I grew up on He-Man. Matter of fact, fun fact, that's how E-Man came about. If you notice, it's E-Man. I got that because I was a fan of He-Man when I was a kid. So I'm very, very okay with this. I don't care. I mean, this is all a fantasy world. So if anybody's like, oh, he's supposed to be wide. No. He's from Eternia. Y'all tell me what Eternias look like. What do the Eterninians look like? Stop it. Get out of here. So I'm fine with it. It's cool. I'm still more concerned about who the hell gonna be He-Man, because I forget who it was, like Nick. Who was it? Let me see. He-Man, Amazon Studios, Nick something. Oh yeah, Nicholas Galatazine. Yeah, hold on. Let's see this. I think we talked about this before. Let me see. Does he have an Instagram? Yes, he does. Okay, he got. Hold on. Let's see what he's talking about. Is it gonna load? I don't want to load up. Okay. Oh, this is him. This y'all. This the He-Man. That's He-Man. Mm, mm. Oh, okay. All right. All right. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, if he's the before, if he's Prince Adam as the before, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But I still say y'all need to go get Alan Richton. Y'all, I've been saying that from the jump. Y'all need to go get Alan Richton. Let him be the after. My man is already blonde. He's already ridiculously too big. He looks like a real life He-Man, and he can act. Don't put this man through no CGI muscles. Don't do that to him. Anyway, what else do we have? Oh, we got one of my favorites, Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle's got a new movie coming out. It says here that Don Cheadle is set to star in Canyon, a new action thriller flick from the John Wick writer Derek Kolstad. It says Cheadle will play the titular character Canyon, a part-time jazz musician and full-time serial killer who finds himself in the middle of a turf war between two crime families after he becomes the unlikely guardian of a younger singer. So a serial killer? Like, so he's bad? Like, I thought he was an assassin or something, but nah, okay, this sounds conflicting, but this just sounds like Armor Wars is not happening. My man is already out there. And here's the thing, I'm rooting for him. I'm all here for my man Don Cheadle going out, doing his thing, getting his roles. I think he's a fantastic actor. I love it. But man, it sounds like you ain't doing no Armor Wars training. It sounds like you ain't prepping for no Armor Wars at all. And we already talked about how basically, you know, in his interviews, he's like, Armor Wars, what's that? No, you heard something? I ain't hear nothing. So it does not sound like Armor Wars is gonna happen if my man is already taking on new roles and moving on. But it is what it is. What else we got? Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has a new movie that he's working on. We already know that he's doing another Days of Thunder. We talked about how, of course, he's got to do another Mission Impossible. But it says Tom Cruise is attached to star in Deeper, a supernatural thriller that Doug Liman has in early development. It says that Deeper follows an astronaut who encounters a terrifying force while on a deep dive into a never before explored trench. Interesting. Currently, let's see, the pair, so Lyman and Cruise, they're also plotting a NASA film that is going to actually be shot in outer space. And he's doing this in collaboration with SpaceX, which still remains in development. By the way, that right there is actually kind of cool. It is kind of cool that he's literally going to go to space to shoot this movie. Now, yeah, y'all know Tom Cruise is, you know, he's a pretty eccentric guy, you know, and I give him props. The man, he's still one of the last dying breeds of a true Hollywood superstar. Like, he's still that dying breed of a movie star. And we already know how crazy he gets with his stunts and stuff. Personally, bro, I don't think you need to go to space to shoot some stuff. Everybody else, literally everybody else, has shot this stuff regularly on Earth. I'm just saying, like, I appreciate the commitment. I appreciate the dedication. You don't have to actually go to space to shoot a space movie. Okay, listen, Interstellar did just fine. Gravity did just fine. Alien from 1970 something. Alien did just fine. You don't need to do this. Okay, all I'm saying is, listen, you got all these complications, all this math, all this stuff that you got to do to go to space. I just don't think it's necessary. But I understand. I mean, again, I appreciate the dedication. I really do. But I just don't want this man to be lost in space over some nonsense. Okay. Anyway, what do y'all think about that? Tom Cruise doing this. Actually, I like movies that deal with horror and with space, because space to me is definitely one of those scary places. You know, like Gravity had me freaking out with Sandra Bullock. When she was, now I was getting really annoyed when she like for 10 minutes straight. She just kept on. I was like, woman, if you don't shut up. But when you see the vastness of space, ooh, that's scary. Because if you're not holding on to something and you can just keep floating and ain't nothing gonna stop your momentum, that's scary. And it's cold up there too. Ooh, no, thank you. Nope. So yeah, I like the idea of them doing some sort of horror in space. That to me definitely is appealing as an idea. Next up, we have another actor taking on a different role. And this is actually in place of the late, great Lance Reddick. So, as we know, Lance Reddick unfortunately has passed away. But Courtney B. Vance has stepped up to the plate, and he is going to take over as the role of Zeus in the Percy Jackson TV series on Disney Plus for season 2. Now, the question here is, will this tarnish Lance Reddick's legacy? Is this recasting disrespectful to Lance Reddick? I think you all know my answer at this point. Absolutely not. I think that this is I think it's even better that you take an equally good actor, because Courtney B. Vance is a fantastic actor, to take on this role and to carry on the legacy that Lance Reddick just started. But yeah, I don't want to hear no complaints. I'm sure we won't. I'm sure we're not gonna hear nothing bad about it, like, oh my gosh, what is he doing? No, because once again, recasts happen all the time, and it's okay. And I'm pretty sure Courtney B. Vance is going to step in, do the role, and do whatever it needs to be done. So shout out to him. Shout out to Lance Reddick. Man, I was just watching Vox Machina, which is another great show. I love Vox Machina. And Lance Reddick was the voice of the one of the main villains or whatever. And it just made me miss Lance even more, because like I haven't watched the Percy Jackson stuff. But man, dude was just one of those hardworking. You see him or you hear him in everything, and he never messes up. I even watched that terrible Resident Evil show that came on to Netflix. That was trash. It was so bad. But Lance was great. He was great. Like he didn't mess it up. He was fantastic, and he was the only part that kept it going. Oh, I'm gonna miss that brother. He was so good. Anyway, guys, what do you think about all these new roles and new movies coming out? Anything catching your interest? Anything maybe you don't care about? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Hold on. Oh, snaps. Hold on. We got a little No government names. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so we just gonna whoever. Oh, I'm gonna call you TW. I'm gonna call you TW. You know who you are. Thank you so much for the $10 Cash App TW. You said I love the From content. Well, thank you so much. I have way more From content coming for you very, very soon. I know I'll be late with it. Everybody tries to get it out as soon as possible, but I have other things to do. But more is coming. Thank you so much for that. All right. We got some more. What else we got? Oh, I love this. I love this. I don't know about y'all. I used to watch Scrubs on ABC all the time. Scrubs to me was fantastic. Me and my best friend, we would actually make up stuff because our humor was just like the same as Turk and JD. And I really, really enjoyed just the show. Now I never watched like the last couple seasons, but I watched like all the beginning, I don't know, first 4 or 5 seasons, however long it was. Really, really hilarious show, like hilarious. But in true Hollywood fashion, and you know what, I know we get on this all the time, but I feel like this might be an exception because we are getting a reboot of Scrubs, kind of. It says Scrubs reboot is getting closer to reality. The project is now officially in development at ABC because they secured the involvement of the series creator and executive producer, Bill Lawrence. So now it's official. It says here that 20th Century TV is moving in to secure the main Scrubs original cast. They're hearing that, of course, JD is back, Elliot's back, Turk, Perry, and Carla. You know, they might. She's kind of like they're factoring her into the plans for the reboot, but she might be kind of up in the air. Now it says here Lawrence told Deadline in the same interview back in October that he envisions Scrubs 2.0. It's kind of a hybrid between a revival, revisiting original characters a decade, a decade and a half after the original series ended its run, and a reboot, revamping the original concept with new characters as the series is set to introduce new interns. So, listen, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm interested in seeing where they go with it. I will say though, since I did kind of fall off towards the end, I kind of fell off when they did introduce the new interns. And I was kind of like, I like the fact that they were interns, but obviously they couldn't be young forever. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I'm curious to see what they come up with. But I'm here for it because like I said, I'm a big fan of Scrubs. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how good this can be or not. So you guys let me know, how do you feel about Scrubs getting a reboot kind of sort of type of deal? Is this something you're looking forward to? Is this something that maybe you don't care about? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Wow. We got some other news. No, we're not gonna do that. We got some Lord of the Rings news. And this one has to do, obviously, we have, Lord of the Rings. You got Rings of Power, which it's decent so far. It's decent. I did finish the second season. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's like must watch, but it's fine. As I've been saying for the longest, Rings of Power feels like it's not made for everybody. Rings of Power feels like it's made for people that are really, really nerdy and deep into that fan base. It's for the fans, which is great for the fans, but I don't see that being a great thing for the show overall. Even though Amazon put hella money into it, it's one of the most expensive shows out there. But whatever. Anyway, in addition to Rings of Power, Amazon is also doing The Hunt for Gollum. So we did talk about that. And The Hunt for Gollum basically deals with Aragon basically going out to look for Gollum. They got to go find Gollum because he has answers and stuff like that. So the question is, if you're making a hunt for Gollum, and if the time, because this takes place I think it's before the Return of the King, so it's before the last movie in the trilogy. This is kind of a prequel in a sense, but how you gonna make that work? Obviously, we know how to make it work with Gollum. He's CGI, but what do you do with Aragon? Because time has passed. It's been a long time since the last movies. So it says here that in an interview with Lord of the Rings writer Philippa Boyens, they hope to have Viggo Mortensen come back. Wow. She explained the hunt for Gollum is set during the Fellowship of the Ring era, shortly before Frodo Baggins leaves the Shire for Rivendell, and it begins with Gandalf sending Aragorn on a quest to find Gollum, who the wizard fears may reveal information about the One Ring to Sauron. So Viggo Mortensen's appearance is crucial. Is it? Now, I agree that Aragorn is crucial, but is Viggo? Now, here's the thing. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, hey man, stop being so ageist. This man is 66 years old. Okay. He is 66 years old. And y'all think he gonna come back looking like that? Like he was in his 40s when he did the role. Great. It worked. It's been over 20 something years. And y'all want him to come back to look like that? I'm just saying, is it worth it? Because you're gonna have to do some type of CGI de-aging. Just recast. Just recast them. It's okay. You know, I think most of us will understand that, yeah, you can't really, it's not, you don't need this guy, you know, to come back to look exactly like this guy. You don't have to do that. You could just get another actor. Just say, you could, listen, you can get Sebastian Stan. Go get Bucky. Go get Sebastian Stan from Marvel. Put some long hair. First of all, Sebastian Stan looked like every generic white actor anyway. He got the strong jaw. You put him in some makeup, he will look like whoever you need him to look like. People already been trying to get him to be Luke Skywalker anyway. Bring him in. Bring him in. I think he could do a good job with this. But they really want Viggo. They really want him. They've said here, we've all spoken to each other, and honestly, I cannot imagine anyone else playing Aragorn, but it will be completely up to Viggo. Oh my gosh, I am so tired of this idea. Nobody else can play this role. What's wrong with you? Don't y'all work in Hollywood? Don't y'all work in the film industry? You know, the literal industry that has a revolving door of actors. Do y'all realize when they do auditions, and this is what kills me. I know that acting talent is a huge thing. You definitely need talent. That's 100%. But if you've ever watched a behind the scenes, or if you've ever heard of an actor going into an audition, and they be like, you know what, we need somebody to play Barbie. We want somebody that's blonde, blah blah blah. You don't think you finna walk in there and find 1,000 women that look just like Margot Robbie? It's 1,000 plus. Like, you think you walked into a clone factory. It's not hard to find people that look a certain way. Now, again, it'll be hard to narrow down the acting talent, but let's not act like, you know, it's so difficult to find some 30 to 40-year-old white male who can play a brunette, strong-jawed, you know, Aragorn. Stop it. Only Viggo. Really? Really? Listen, I've said this too. I do agree that there are some characters and actors that might be really difficult to have someone else play them. I agree with that. Matter of fact, the best person I would say that would be difficult would be Rocky. Mainly because Sylvester Stallone created the character and played him for like 50 years, right? That would be understandable that if you got somebody else to play Rocky, it's going to be a little difficult. Why? Because Rocky was so much like Sylvester, and Sylvester was so much like Rocky. Rocky even talked like Sylvester. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you gonna get another actor to act like Sylvester Stallone and then have them act like Rocky? I get that. That would be difficult. It's not impossible, because I can tell y'all this: in our lifetime, and I'll put this out there, in our lifetime, when Sylvester Stallone passes away, in another 10 years, maybe 15 years after he's gone, so we probably gonna be senior citizens by then, I bet y'all there will be another Rocky. Ain't no way the studio is gonna sit there and be like, you mean we still got the rights and we ain't making nothing? Hey, yo, run that Rocky 15 right now. The way Hollywood likes to reboot, y'all mean to tell me they not gonna find another Rocky in like 20 years? Come on now. So yeah, this whole idea with Vigo, only they can't see nobody. Man, stop it. Please stop it. They go on to say this is about a digital makeup and whether Vigo does it or will entirely depend on how good the script is, and he doesn't have a script yet. The writer continues, I suspect if he decides he doesn't want to do it, we would still want him to be heavily involved like we do. Like, how do we hand this character off? First of all, I appreciate the sentiment that they would want to have him involved. That makes sense. It's very okay if you sit here and say, hey, Vigo, we about to recast this character. How do we pass this on to the next person? Bring him in as a consultant. Bring him in as a producer. That's fine. But first of all, what you mean? Like, how do you hand this off? You don't. You recast. You got a new script. You recast and you move on. Literally like how all the rest of the industry does. I don't know why they're trying to make this hard. This is not that difficult. It's not that difficult. And to be honest, I really question, do you guys think the hunger for a Lord of the Rings movie is still there? Keep in mind, Lord of the Rings came out in the late, I'm going to say early 2000s? That was a long time ago. Long time. That was over 20 some years ago. Do y'all think that people still want Lord of the Ring movies in a way that would still be successful? I'm curious to know what y'all think about that. But anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about this Lord of the Ring update? Do you think they need Vigo? Do you think that they should just recast? Should they do CGI? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's move on. Oh boy, we got a Harry Potter update. So, in case y'all did not know, there is Harry Potter is obviously a big, booming franchise for WB. They're going to go ahead and make a TV series out of the Harry Potter, story. J.K. Rowling, however you feel about her, she is going to be involved. But they are getting someone else to play Snape, Professor Snape. It says Papa Asidu is going to play the role. He's being cast. Says that he is up for the role of Professor Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter series. Sources say the actor has been offered the part, although it is not clear if negotiations have begun in the earnest. The role was famously played by the late Alan Rickman across 8 Warner Brother films. And by the way, the ones people were, I guess, asking for Cillian Murphy to play Lord Voldemort. They're saying, nope, that's not the case. That is not the case. So why does this have people in a hizzy? Why are people upset? What's the big deal? It's just Professor Snape. You know, I don't get the problem. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe it's his haircut. Maybe it's his beard that people might have some issues with. I mean, he can always shave his beard, you know. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's so different about this guy that people might have an issue with. Maybe is he too short? Maybe he's too tall. I don't know. Do you guys see what's now? I haven't read the books. So I don't know. Like, I don't, you know, oh, it's the lighting. It has to be the lighting. It has to be the lighting. Oh well. Do we have any Harry Potter book readers here? Because I don't know what Professor Snape is supposed to look like. And to be honest with y'all, I don't care. When I tell y'all, I don't care about this. Like, this does not affect me in any way. Why? Because it's fiction and it's not real. Okay, there's that part. But yeah. He's a brother. He's a brother. He's a Brit. He's a British brother. I'm sorry. He's a bruv. He's a bruv. Did I say that right? Where's Stamina at? Stamina here today? Stamina, is that right? Can I call him a bruv? I hope that's okay. Let's see. What else they say? If he lands a role, it will be an example of HBO following through on its promise that the series would have a diverse cast. The films were sometimes criticized for having an entirely white core cast. Boy, them Harry Potter movies, they was white. They was white as ever. Now, personally, I did not care. I was not sitting here like, where are the black wizards? Where the Hispanic wizards? I did not care because I was not big into Harry Potter like that anyway. Also, I don't know if the books really needed that anyway. But one thing I can say is that the creator is on board. Again, whether you like J.K. Rowling or not, she has creative control. And I have to say, I appreciate that. For any creator of any type of story, mythology, literature, whatever, I love the fact that they are continuously involved in any adaptation, any movies, TV shows, or whatever dealing with their concept. That is great. But to me, I'm like, listen, if JK ain't got a problem with it, why would I have a problem with it? You know? But you know, the only annoying thing about this, and we all know it's gonna come. We all know it's gonna happen. Well, why don't we just make Black Panther white then? You know, if we're just gonna race swap, because this is gonna affect my entire childhood. This is it. This is it. And just to entertain the ridiculousness, let me know if Professor Snape's ethnicity or his race had anything to do with his character. Unlike Black Panther, which is why your argument is stupid if you bring that up. But just tell me, was he some, wizard from the Caucasus? Is that what it is? I don't even know if they have Caucasus out there in the Harry Potter world. Just tell me if that's important to his character. Because if it's not, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Okay. So anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about this childhood crushing, brand new DEI wizard who is going to play the Professor Snape in the Harry Potter TV series. Whatever y'all think, please let me know in the comments down below. Oh, people's gonna be mad. People's is going to be big mad. What else do we have? We do have some more stuff with HBO. Because we got to talk about Game of Thrones. All right. Now we're gonna talk about all the Game of Thrones, not just Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, all that. So we know that next season of House of the Dragon, it's gonna be a big one, right? It's going to be all about war, it's gonna be all this crazy stuff. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. And this is according to some of the HBO execs. It says House of the Dragon is not part of the 2025 mix, and season 3 is unfortunately getting pushed back even further. It says here that the new season of House of the Dragon is likely to premiere around the middle of 2026. Yikes. According to the CEO, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is set to release in the summer of 2025. So that's a little good news, So while we might not get House of the Dragon season 3 in 2025, we will get, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And that is going to release summer 2025. It only has 6 episodes. And George R.R. Martin is executive producing it, and apparently he is very pleased with the project. Now, if y'all recall, George was sitting out here making all these comments talking about how much he did not what was his issue? It was something about how he didn't care for how they treated one of the characters in House of the Dragon. I think it was one of the children or something like that. So he's mad about that. But excuse me, George, how you gonna sit here and talk about anything when you know you got one job to do? This man forever. Like, have y'all ever had a homework assignment, a project for work, or just something that you have to do, and you find everything and anything to just not do it? Like, he has to be one of the greatest procrastinators in all of history. He has to. Right next to Dr. Dre and the Chronic. Like, between them two, I just George says here, when he was asked about how balancing these projects with the long-awaited 6th and final book, The Winds of Winter, in his A Song of Ice and Fire series, he said, unfortunately, I am 13 years late. Every time I say that, I'm like, how could I be 13 years late? I don't know. It happens a day at a time. But that's still a priority. A lot of people are already writing obituaries for me. They're saying, oh, he'll never be finished. Maybe they're right. I don't know. I'm alive right now. I seem pretty vital. Sir, no, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. You seem pretty vital for everything else except for your actual book that you are 13 years late with. Sir, 13 years. Like, what do you need? What help do you need? Do you need voice notes? Do you need AI? Do you need a writing partner? Can you just record yourself? Record yourself and put all your thoughts out there, because in case you just don't make it. Okay, listen. I mean, I'm not wishing nothing on nobody, but I'm not going to sit here and act like this man is in picture perfect health. I don't know how many more years do you need. I don't know if there's another 13 there. I don't know. Maybe. I wish the best. I'm just saying, Why are you playing with time like that? Why are you playing with Father Time like this? It's like you trying to play double dutch with it, like why? No, just get it done. This is your contribution to society. We appreciate it. But just come on, man. Sheesh. Anyway, how do y'all feel about these Game of Thrones updates? House of Dragon ain't coming until 2026. That's a long time. I think I might have to rewatch the series just to anticipate it. This Seven Kingdoms, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I have no idea what to anticipate with this. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But y'all let me know, how are you feeling about that? And do you believe George R.R. Martin will finish his book in our lifetime? Do y'all think he gonna make it? I want to see the over-unders. I want to see if there was some bets out there. I need to see if this man, what those bets are, if he's gonna make it. I hope he does, but y'all let me know what you think. I don't know. Hold on, Tammy, what you say? Stop talking about that man. We all fall behind for 13 years. What have you fallen behind in for 13 years? What, folding clothes, moving? Like, what are we talking about? I understand. Like, listen, I procrastinate a lot. There's a lot that I procrastinate. Not for no 13 years. Okay. 13 days, 13 hours, years. Yikes. Mike, what you got? Thank you, brother. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine? Black folk ain't got no business around none of that. We would be out there on brooms with Glocks and slinging that magic dust. Listen, do y'all, and I hate to say this, I hate to even bring it up, but do y'all remember the teaser of Magical Negroes? We thought that's what we was gonna get. We thought Magical Negroes was gonna be Black Harry Potter, and we was finna just listen. I feel like we was gonna pack them theaters up. We was gonna hype it up. We was gonna dress up. We was gonna bring the brooms. We was gonna bring the wands. We was about to do the whole thing proper until Magical Negroes came out with the full trailer, and we was like, "What is this? What is this?" Ooh. Anyway, yeah. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's nice to dream. It's nice to dream. What do we have? Oh, we got some Denzel news. So, last time we talked about Denzel, we talked about how he made his announcement that he was going to retire, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do King Lear and I don't know, Othello or something like that." And then he spilled the beans and was like, "Oh yeah, Ryan Coogler, he's going to write me a part for Black Panther 3. So I'm going to do those 5 movies and then I'm going to stop. Like I'm going to retire." Then I pulled up the video later showing you guys that he really wasn't retiring. But what he really meant was he was just going to retire in terms of acting, but he was still going to do other things like produce, direct, and so on. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to retire from acting, but not really retire entirely." So here's the thing. And, I think we all hold Denzel in a very special place in our hearts. He's that older uncle that we like, whatever uncle wants, but I don't know how to say this any other way. But I feel like Denzel is a whole liar because this man sat here and told us, "I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies, King Lear, Othello, Black Panther, and some other plays or whatever." And now this man is out here talking about, "I got 2 more movies." And these 2 more movies are the Equalizer. He's doing more Equalizer movies. Like what? He said here, "I told them I would do another Equalizer, and we're going to do 4 and 5. More people are happy about that. People love those doggone Equalizers. But I've come to realize that the Equalizer films are for me too, because they're for the people. They want me to go get the bad guys. We can't get them, so you can go get them. And I say, okay, I'll go get them. Just wait right here. I'll be right back. I guarantee it. I don't know how else to put this. I don't know. I cannot trust Denzel anymore. This man said he gonna retire, but he not really retiring. This man say he gonna do 5 movies, but he's really about to do 7. I don't like, sir. Just make up your mind. Listen. I'm not even complaining. If Denzel wants to retire today, he's still going down in the books for me as one of the greatest actors out there. Period. If Denzel want to keep on doing more movies, I'm not gonna stop this man. Okay, like I just saw Gladiator 2, and he was the only thing holding that movie together. Okay, I know his shoulders was tired from carrying that movie. I just don't know what to believe. I don't know. This man talking about he just retired, not retired, gonna do 4 more movies. Actually, I'm never gonna retire. I'm gonna keep on acting. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm still gonna show up. I'm still gonna show up, right? But y'all let me know, how do you feel about Denzel doing not 1, but 2 more Equalizer movies? Now, I really thought the last Equalizer movie. Now, I still like the first one. First one to me is still the best. Second one was probably the worst. Third one was good. I liked it. It was cool. It was better than the second, but I still got it as 1, 3, and 2 in terms of best to least. But how do y'all feel? Do y'all like the idea of another Equalizer or 2 of them? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Oh boy. Yeah, we gotta talk about this. Oh boy. Well, y'all 2 favorite light-skinned bald heads. Vin Diesel and The Rock. Oh my gosh. We have talked about this extensively. If you are new here, please just look up on my channel Vin Diesel, The Rock, and their feud that has been going on for so long. Just as a quick recap, I mean, quick. The Rock had some issues with Vin Diesel because he was basically saying, without saying, but really saying, that Vin Diesel was unprofessional. He was showing up to the job late. And it was one of the main reasons that made him leave. He went off and did his spinoff with Hobbs and Shaw. That rubbed a lot of the other, well, I shouldn't say a lot. It rubbed Tyrese the wrong way because Tyrese was like, man, you holding up my paper. Tyrese was like, oh man, like I was counting on that check. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, I'm counting on that check for that fast 10, but you go off and go do a Hobbs and Shaw. What about family? So Vin Diesel, when they would kind of trade comments, Vin Diesel was out here posting The Rock and his kid, talking about his kids and being like, man, let's get back together. Let's make this work, and I think even the Rock said, no, he said something about The Rock where he was like, he's like a little brother to me. And I taught him this and taught him that. Like I put him on game, how to act and all. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. It was unnecessary. It was stupid. But as I've said before, Vin Diesel needed The Rock with the Fast Furious franchise. And it might be kind of evident now that The Rock might also need the Fast and Furious franchise as well. It looks like they both kind of need each other because the Fast movies were getting terrible. Like, I know it's a running joke around here, but they were really getting bad after Paul Walker died. Like, once Paul Walker was gone and they failed to just stop making those movies, it just got worse and worse and worse. Fast 9 was atrocious. Fast 10 was even worse. And now we still have to come up against Fast 11, which supposedly is the last one, but I don't believe them. You have also Says here, let me get this here. Before the release of the film, Vin Diesel had time and again expressed desire for The Rock to return to the franchise years after their feud. Johnson made a surprise appearance, spoiler alert, at the post-credit scene of Fast X. And there was talks about doing, I think, another Hobbs and Shaw. It says sharing an on-set picture, because y'all know Vin Diesel, one thing he gonna do, he gonna post on social media. Sharing an on-set picture with Dwayne Johnson from Fast 5. Vin wrote, I got Universal in one ear saying we need Fast X 2 by March 2026. I have Comcast in the other ear saying we need 2 movies to be the finale. Then the writer on Fast 5 sent me this image and said, we need to see Dom and Hobbs resolve their differences. I just want to get back to the real street racing, practical stunts, and a reunion of that beautiful brotherhood. Fool me once. Fool me twice. How's that go? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But fool me 3 times. Well, you can't fool me again. Didn't they say the same thing in Fast 9? Well, we got to get back to the roots of, but y'all didn't. And then they said the same thing in Fast X. Well, we want to get back to the heart of this franchise and do the street racing. And what they do, they gave you a 2-minute street race. A 2-minute street race with a bunch of crappy story around that. Now, Vin Diesel over here basically talking about some the studios are in his ear. First of all, sir, you're a producer. At some point, if you are in charge, you should be just being like, nah, man, like I made this franchise. I took it over. I know what works. Tell them like, no, we just gonna do this. And y'all gonna take it. Because clearly what y'all have been doing has not been working. It's making some money, but it's also like losing money too. And shame on the studios if they're the ones that are pushing 2 more movies for the finale. Fast X10 was supposed to be the first part of the finale already. We were supposed to be done with this at 11. But y'all want a part 11, part 1, and then 11, part 2? Stop. Please stop. And then Rock wants to do a Hobbs and Shaw 2. Listen, Hobbs and Shaw that should have been a streaming movie. Hobbs and Shaw should have been a streaming movie. I don't want to see a part 2. There's nothing about it's not good. It's not good. Now, would I be down for them to go back to the street racing? Honestly, I don't know if that's going to work no more. Like the toothpaste is out the tube already. How are you going to put that back? First of all, y'all are super secret agent Avengers. And y'all finna go street race? What are you street racing? For what? Y'all finna street race for some turbochargers? For some sounds? What are y'all even racing for? New tires? Like what? It's done. It's done. Listen, and I already told y'all my idea, and I know some people might not like it, and that's okay. I've been saying if y'all want to reboot this franchise, I'd be fine with that. And I think the best way to do it, you go right back to when Paul Walker passed away and have Dom wake up from a dream. Just have him wake up. I know it's cheesy. I know it's dumb. This franchise is already dumb. We already in Dum-Dumville, okay? You can't get no deeper when you already in the Capitol building of Dum-Dumville. Just have this man wake up from a coma, from a dream, whatever, all them other movies just don't exist, and you could just go right back to street racing. That is the quickest, easiest way to just do this. Just finish this. This man said John Cena was his brother. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't need no time travel. We don't need nothing fancy. We don't need no aliens. That we definitely don't need no Jurassic Park crossover. Just stop all of this. Wake up, be like, damn, we were secret agents. Man, that was crazy. All right, y'all. Who get in this Lamborghini so we can race this other crew so we can get back down to business? Like, just get back to business. I promise you, we will all act like nothing else happened. I promise you. We'll be like, man, Fast 8, 9, 10, 11, what? Nobody's going to complain. We will be all right. Anyway, how do y'all feel about Vince's outreach to The Rock? We already know he's coming back. We already know that they're going to do something in the finale. Like I said, I think they do both need each other. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Is this something you're excited for? This, first of all, this is y'all franchise. Because y'all be watching this way more than I do. I don't know why. But I am curious to know, how do y'all feel about this? Is this something that y'all want to see? Something that will excite you? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. All right, what else we got? Let's talk about her real quick. We got Elizabeth Olsen, aka Scarlet Witch. And you know, once in a blue moon, sometimes y'all gonna hear me say certain things. And it's okay. Sometimes people don't want to believe me. Sometimes people are like, man, what do you know? And I'll be like, yeah, I don't know nothing. I go off of things that I hear, things that I read, things that other people say. I try to go off of evidence. So it warms my heart when I can come across someone in the industry saying some things that might sound a little familiar, just a little bit. So she was here getting interviewed, and she was talking about, Marvel and some other things. She said here, Marvel has been such a consistent thing I've been able to return to, and has created, some feeling of insurance in my life that has given me freedom to choose other jobs. So I haven't felt like, and I'll do this to do this. She goes on to say, it has always felt like a choice. Every time it's character driven. It's always like, we have this idea, and that's why we want you to come back. It's not like just throw her into something. Now, what she's referring to here is the fact that as an actor, being in Marvel is kind of nice because she's always got a backup. She can go do all these other movies that y'all not going to watch, but it's all good because she can come back. And right now, she's coming back as the Scarlet Witch in the Marvel Zombies. Maybe she's going to come back in a live action. I'm more than likely she will, especially if you've seen Agatha all along. It looks like they're teasing all of that anyway. But it's nice. So while the industry kind of wants to look down on Marvel and look down on superhero movies, she's like, nah, I'm good. Like, this is work. This is work. I can go do other stuff and still come back. I like that. And I like that for her. I think that's smart. But this is what I really like what she had to say. She said here that she went on to say that superhero films can, in some ways, be necessary to the survival of independent cinema, acknowledging that they help pay the rent for theaters to show smaller budget movies. Yeah. That sounds pretty familiar. For all those Francis Ford Coppolas, for all those Martin Scorseses, for all those old directors that be out here being like, this is killing the theaters. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because guess what? When those big movies come out and people are literally paying money to the theaters get to stay open just a little bit longer Because guess what? Megaflopolis, Joker 2, those are not saving the theaters. Okay. That, like, if that's all we had to go see in theaters, all them theaters would have been shut down. All of that would have been dead. Because nobody was gonna go see that. And meanwhile, I got Penguin on the TV that I can stream. I got Netflix, HBO. I got shows I can go watch. And you want me to go watch that crap and pay you money? Hell no. So yes, thank you, Deadpool and Wolverine. Thank you for actually doing something that will keep those theaters open. And I don't know, maybe people will go watch something else, or maybe some other theater will stay open, have a deal on another movie, and people be like, let's do a 2-for-1. You never know. So yes, she is correct. And I just wanted to highlight that. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about what Elizabeth Olsen had to say? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. What is this? Oh yeah, we have some Daredevil updates. So of course, as we know, Daredevil Born Again is coming to Disney Plus. That is probably one of the few shows that I'm actually excited for. We know that this is going to be probably a good barometer of how much Marvel was able to pivot, right? Because keep in mind, when we saw them trash shows like Secret Invasion, Hawkeye, Marvel was operating under a different approach. They were doing, because Marvel Studios was always created to be they were created to be a studio that would make TV, but the TV was really supposed to set up the movies, right? It wasn't really supposed to be the TV series, kind of like old traditional TV series. This is one of the reasons why WandaVision was a setup for Doctor Strange 2. But even with that said, we found out, especially once Marvel admitted, and I was so happy, they admitted that phase 4 was trash. They admitted that they took some steps, they stumbled, they came across some bumps in the road. They acknowledged that they were messing up and that they had to fix things. And what did they do? They went back and they actually said, you know what? We're going to hire us a producer, showrunner. We're going to have a show Bible. We're going to make these things not reliant on the movies. We're going to make them kind of self-contained. They went out and said, we are going to make our TV shows just like other traditional TV shows. Brilliant. If a model ain't broke, why are you trying to fix it? But more importantly, with Daredevil, they went out because, listen, I think we all can admit, the Netflix Daredevil series, that was putting some pressure on the MCU, because that series, even though it was made by a completely different team in Marvel, it wasn't a Marvel Studios thing, they were killing it. The Daredevil series on Netflix was perfection. It was fantastic. So what they did was they actually went and got the showrunners that did the Punisher Netflix series, so similar tent, and they brought them in to work on Daredevil Born Again. Cool. So now the question still is, how is this going to work? Is this going to be a continuation? Is this going to be different? We got the multiverse, blah, 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 blah. So Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock, he actually weighed in on this. And this is to give us an idea of what we can expect with Daredevil. And it says here that there was talk early on about reinventing the whole thing to see if Matt was a slightly different person, but it ended up more of a continuation. A lot of the history follows on. The relationships and dynamics set up in the previous seasons still exist. A few years have passed. In that time, Matt, Foggy, and Karen have found a pretty good rhythm. Matt's made peace with his role as both a lawyer and a vigilante. Then, of course, stuff hits the fan. So it does sound as though we are getting more of the Netflix um uh version of Daredevil versus some multiversal continuation. Now, here's the thing. I don't really believe him too much. I still think that he's in a different universe, but just because you're in a different universe doesn't mean that you can't still share a lot of similarities, right? So I'm not going to be too caught up about that. I don't really care. I'm more so happy that they have found their stride and that they're like, Netflix was doing a good job. Let's just keep that going. Y'all can work out the little timeline details later. It's superficial. Just keep that same hallway fight scene energy. Keep that same Netflix energy and everything will be all right. Wilson Bethel, who played Bullseye, he said here that it's actually set 5 years after the Netflix Daredevil series. So for anybody that really needed some specificity, we got 5 years as a time jump for it. And I'm cool with this. I'm cool. I think that that should be all right. And I'm definitely still looking forward to it. But you guys let me know, how are you feeling about Daredevil Born Again? Is this still a series that you're highly anticipating? Maybe you don't care either. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, we have got some DCU updates. So James Gunn has been going around doing some press, and in his press, he was doing he was giving some updates about various things. So you have things like Creature Commandos, which has just come out on Max. I haven't watched it yet, but the first 2 episodes are out. And yeah, this is supposed to be like a soft launching into, this is the first official DCU IP. Next up, I believe it's going to be Superman, which will be coming out, I want to say, next summer. But James Gunn was doing some press and he just was giving some different things. So one thing that he says here is that he contemplated bringing Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU. And he said here, but I'm committed to both telling stories in the DCU and Elseworld stories. I want the freedom to tell Elseworld stories. Now, I think that this is a very good idea on his part. The Elseworlds, keep in mind, that is the outside stuff. It's not the officially canon stuff. It's, you know, we're not even going to talk about multiverse. It's just outside. It's not the main thing. Same way you got MCU, and how you had, let's say, the MCU and you had the Fox universe or the Sony Marvel universe. Those are different. It's separate. So the DCU now is going to have clearly a new Batman. It's going to have a different Batman, which I think is a smart idea. I've been saying one of the best people you can go get Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal will be the perfect Batman for the DCU. Fantastic actor. You have to go with acting talent first. Don't be sitting here talking about, I want the big beefy Batman like Alan Richardson and Reacher. No, because you don't want to see this man running in a suit. Okay. You don't want to see that. You want to see a good actor playing the role. That's how it's been all these years. Everybody's favorite Batman is somebody that has been able to act the part very well. Sorry, not you, George Clooney, but everybody else has been able to act very well first. So I like this idea mainly because of what we set up, what has been set up with Robert Pattinson's Batman. He does not work with the same fantastical setup that James Gunn has. We've already seen and heard about how you got Mr. Terrific, you got Parasite, you got Superman flying around, you got the Justice Society of America. Like, you got all these superheroes and stuff running around in the DCU. But when it comes to Matt Reeves' Batman, to Robert Pattinson's Batman, man, you don't have all of that. It's super grounded. So I like the idea of keeping the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson's Batman over there, and their more grounded universe. And then you could bring a different Batman into this more superhero environment in the DCU. So that makes sense. I'm cool with that. Approach. Let's see. He also revealed that they had plans for 3 spin-offs for Guardians of the Galaxy while he was at Marvel Studios. He wanted to do a Ravengers series or spin-off, a legendary Star-Lord project, and a Rocket and Groot project. Well, I am glad he is no longer at Marvel. No, thank you. No, thank you. Now, legendary Star-Lord, maybe. Ravengers, I don't want to see them. Groot and Rocket, for what? Hell no. For what? No. Like, listen, just because you care about these characters, Mr. Gunn, and I understand it. He's very partial to these characters. Totally get it. It does not mean that we need to care too. It does not mean that we have to watch these things. Like, sometimes we just got to let it go. Not everybody deserves a spinoff. Okay? It's unnecessary. Anyway, one thing here that he did talk about was the rating system for the DCU and what these upcoming movies will be rated, or at least the potential for them. And he was let's see, what was he asked? He said that he was talking about not limiting himself in terms of rating. He said, we're not about that. We're not about see how it does. We've got an opportunity to take these characters and really press forward and do what we believe. I'm a great believer that if we tell good, authentic stories, if a movie does well or doesn't do well, if you keep with that same philosophy, that you're going to build a universe that people are going to love and want to be a part of for a long time. Yes, this is true. Listen, every story is not going to hit, but one thing people will, in the back of their mind, respect is consistency. If the story is there, that's how people get invested. When you watch a TV series, when you watch a cinematic universe, you appreciate, even if some things don't matter, if they don't hit right, you appreciate the fact that it's all connected. You appreciate that the story is captivating. You appreciate the fact that there are different angles to the story that you would like to explore. So yes, telling good, authentic stories, that's great, but you cannot be scared and jump, away or, whatever, just because one story doesn't do well. So now you go into panic mode. That's what the other, well, I would say that's what Sony does, but they don't. They should, but they don't. But we'll talk about Sony a little later. But James Gunn goes on to talk about, and maybe this is shots fired. This might be shots fired because he was basically talking about like what they're gonna do in DC that Marvel hasn't been doing. And this is basically the major difference between DCU and Marvel. He says a fan asked him whether he plans to announce the full schedule for the DCU, and this is what the fan said. Will you ever do a release schedule like Kevin Feige for the MCU, or will you just say another movie is in development when it starts? And Gunn replied and said, it won't be exactly like Marvel because nothing is greenlit before we have a finished script. He says there's no set timeline for anything. The one thing I've tried to make clear to people from the beginning, and the way I hope we're different, is that everything in DC is going to be based on the writers. Okay. Until we have a screenplay that I'm totally happy with, the movie is not going to be made, no matter what it is. And so we have been really fortunate with some screenplays, but it's all going to be based on that, on the story, because at the end of the day, if we're happy with the story that we're telling, That's what matters most. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought y'all was friends. James Gunn, I thought you and Kevin Feige was friends. There's no reason Blade should have caught a stray like that. Not inadvertently, but it's definitely a ricochet like stray. Because, and this is kind of something I was talking about with Blade. The reason why Marvel's getting so much crap from me too, from me specifically, when it comes to Blade, is because why would you announce something before you even have a solid script that you like? I'm not talking about, oh, we got a writer and we got a, no. You have something that you like, and you have a director, you have the actor, you have every. Why are you announcing things before you ready? You putting the cart before the horse. And now what did you do? You got everybody's expectations high. You got everybody sitting here paying more attention. Let me tell you this. I'll give you an example. They just might have a Wolverine movie. Do we know about it? Has there been any announcements? No. If there is a Wolverine movie that's in development, a Hulk movie that's in development, we don't know. Nothing has been said. We haven't seen nobody be paraded on D23 or Comic-Con. We haven't heard no big announcements. So guess what? Maybe that Wolverine and Hulk movie has been in development for 10 years, but we don't know. We can't get upset about stuff that we don't know. Why? Because you keep that stuff behind closed doors. You keep it in-house. So I appreciate what James Gunn is talking about here, because it's two major things. One, you shouldn't be doing nothing unless the story is fire. Unless you really believe in that story, you should not be doing nothing with that. And two, you're not going to gaslight us by hyping us up, getting our expectations high for something that's not even ready. I have given James Gunn criticism for certain executive moves or decisions that he would make. Like, I did not like how he didn't basically do anything with Zachary Levi throwing his own, throwing The Rock under the bus and stuff. Like, bro, you need to step up as a producer and be like, hey, shut up. Hey, man, I run this DC thing. Like, I need you to stop throwing your own people under the bus. So, yeah, I did have some criticism for that. But you know what? The one thing that I really do give praise to James Gunn for is making sure that characters and story come first. I respect the mess out of that, because that is the number one thing that we go into and that we appreciate. When we're watching movies, we attach ourselves to the characters because the story is usually good. So if you don't have that, bro, don't tell me nothing. Keep all that to yourself. So yeah, Marvel, y'all can learn something. So I like where this is going so far, and I'm hoping that DC, they keep that energy for the long haul. But y'all let me know, how did you feel about James Gunn? Some of them strays that he threw out there. How are you feeling about his approach to the DCU and trying to create a cinematic universe? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments below. Nelson, what you got? You heard Venom 3 made $400 million? Yikes. Yikes. Let me see. What did Venom make? Hold on. I just want to see something. $400 million. Well, let's put this in perspective. So the first Venom made 116. It took 116 to make, and they made $850 million. I'll never forgive y'all for that, but whatever. Y'all wanted to go see it. Then the second one made $500 million. Yikes! But it was post-pandemic. It was also a terrible movie. But this third one, similar budget. So the budget is about the same. Them numbers just keep going down. This is like what else needs to be said? What else needs to be done? Do y'all need to hit the negatives? This is why I need you to understand, to put it in perspective. The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, it made like, let's say $700 million, something like that. And then they increased the budget. And then for Amazing Spider-Man 2, I want to say it made about 750. Well, guess what? That profit margin shrunk. And that's when Sony was like, man, you know what? Marvel, let's cut this deal. And once Marvel cut that deal, Homecoming, 800 million, Far From Home, a billion, No Way Home, 1.5 billion. The money started to go up. Sony realized with Amazing Spider-Man and with Amazing Spider-Man 2, the profit was going down. Venom, it's only going down. Why do y'all keep doing this? Why do y'all keep making movies? It's like I don't know what it's gonna take. At this rate, I don't know what it will take for them to just stop. Like, unless they just start hitting the negatives, maybe. Like, they might have to just really be in Joker 2 territory. Maybe. Marriage, what you got? Why would he be in a different universe? I think you're talking about the Daredevil. He would be in a different universe because the Netflix universe was not in the 616, not originally. It was in a whole different, timeline, a whole different universe. So that's one of the reasons why, for the longest time, unless Marvel Studios made it, it was not in the sacred timeline. That's why Deadpool is in a different universe. What universe he is? 16, 18, or whatever it is. Like, that's why Logan is in a different universe. So yes, even though Marvel Entertainment, which was a different subsidiary, Marvel Entertainment made the Netflix series, they were not part of Marvel Studios. So when Marvel Studios makes it, now they can say, okay, this is official or not. So that's why Daredevil would be more than likely from a different universe or timeline, however you want to call it. Tame, my boy, what's up? Mahershala Ali is 50. Wesley Snipes was 36 when Blade was filmed, losing hope for his longevity if he gets released and is successful. Listen, I think there's a lot of pressure put on the saying of black don't crack. There's a lot. I think if they can finally get it together, Mahershala can push out 2 movies. I think he can do that first Blade. I think he can do a Midnight Suns. And then I think he could probably get close to doing a Blade 2. But that might be it. And that's wishful thinking. That's thinking that, like, he can do everything and Marvel's got their stuff together and they can crank out 3 movies in under 10 years. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I mean, supposedly they're writing a Midnight Suns, according to the rumors. They're writing a Midnight Suns movie, so maybe they shoot that at the same time as Blade and he shoots another one 2-3 years later. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. But I share your concern with the longevity. They playing around a little too much with that timeline. We have an update since we brought up Sony. Let's talk about Kraven real quick. Kraven is still coming out. I'm sorry. And one thing that I actually like, it's coming out actually next week, in case y'all did not know. Yeah, that's right. I know some of y'all didn't know. Anybody got their tickets? Anyone buy their advance tickets for Kraven? Show of hands, or anybody? Nobody. Okay. So Kraven comes out next week. It's already been delayed multiple times. It was supposed to come out like last year or something crazy like that. But the director has come out and he's addressed the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. And I like the fact that this was even addressed. I like that. I will tell you guys a little inside stuff in just a sec, but let's go to what the director had to say, because I always appreciate when directors don't act delusional. You know, I know y'all got a job, y'all got to sell stuff, but keep it 100, keep it real. So it says here, however, the bad reputation of Sony's Spider-Man universe is hanging over the film Kraven. In an interview with Comic Book, Kraven the Hunter director J.C. Chandler talked about how the mixed reception of the film affects his film. And listen, that's a real thing. Okay, that bad track record of Sony, it absolutely affects how we going to approach Kraven. He says here, I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty of it, but here's what I would say. For me as a filmmaker, my number one goal, especially quite frankly, over the last couple of years, where you guys are deep in this world, some of the fans out there, a lot of the fans were upset with certain decisions and certain outcomes of the Sony Spider-Man universe. Then with other films, they've gone on to be tremendous success. What is he talking about? So there's been a mixed success rate. People have got to give us a chance and come out and support this film and literally try to wash away some of the other stuff that's happened. Give our film a chance. Please, baby, please give us a chance. He goes on to say, and I think they'll realize that we've done everything we can to give them a pretty fun story. Uh-oh. You'll see when the movie's over, there's potential for a lot of things to happen. Post-credits crap. But my goal here, but my goal was to isolate our movie, protect it, and just tell a good darn story. And then we'll have opportunities to do a lot of fun things. Oh my gosh. So many red flags. So, first of all, I've told y'all, don't let no studio sit here and tell you this is a fun movie. Every time something gets advertised as a fun movie, I've told y'all this is a red flag. Problem. This man talking about we're going to have a lot of fun. Bro, I ain't coming to your movie to have fun. Okay? I just want to know, is it a good story? Is it a good character? Like, good action? Y'all turning me off every time you talk about fun, because y'all call that last Venom movie fun. It was funny to laugh at how bad it was. That's the only fun that I saw in it. That's the first mistake. Second mistake. Second red flag. Let me say that. I don't think I've ever heard a director of a major film, maybe if it was an indie, maybe if it was a small film, I ain't never heard no director straight up beg, please come see our film. I know them other films is bad. I know y'all had a bad taste in your mouth, but use this to wash the bad taste out your mouth. First of all, I don't even know if that is clean water in that glass. Y'all been having us try to chug mud and straight crap. And imagine if somebody said, here's a murky glass of water, wash that down and clear your mouth with that. With more mud? It's still dirty. Now, I have not seen Kraven, so I can't say that the movie is bad. I'm just saying this is my fear. My fear is, and my concern is, your movie might not be as bad as the rest of them, but that doesn't mean it might not still be bad. It can still be bad. Let me give y'all a little insight because I've told y'all about these red flags many a times. I recall, and I'm not going to call out no studios, no companies out loud. I don't know if I told y'all this, but I remember when I had to go screen Venom 3. Ugh. And when I tell you, I did not see the email. Because usually, as a critic, you get an email say, hey, come on out. We're doing this movie screening at this time, this place. Come on out. Everything for every movie, right? And then it's my choice if I want to go, whatever. I didn't get that. When it came to Venom, I didn't see no invite. Meanwhile, I'm seeing my colleagues, they over here like, yeah, I'm going to go see Venom. I'm going to go see Venom. I was like, what? Chicago ain't doing no screening? Like, what's going on? You know, I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. I had to go press the studios. I'm like, oh, where your movie at? And they was like, huh? What movie? Which one? Which one you talking? Where's Venom 3 at? Oh, yeah, man. Oh, that's so crazy. You ain't get the email about? No, I ain't get the email. Where's the email invite for Venom 3? Here it is. I was like, y'all really trying to hide the movie from me? You really trying to hide the movie from me? So, I've also told y'all, when you get a screener, when you get an invite to go watch a movie early, there's a lot that can be said when the timing of the screener happens. So, if the movie's coming out on Friday, but you get a screener on that Monday, okay, it's not too bad. You know, they're giving you time. There's a little confidence there. The studio's like, listen, we want to give you time so you can think about it. You can write your review. You could be cool. If they give you the screener like 2-3 weeks in advance, woo, they like that movie. They got confidence in that. They like, look, this movie's so good, we're going to give you about 2 weeks to get your thoughts together because we know this is fire. When them screeners come in the day before, because y'all know the movies really come out on Thursdays. When we get them screeners on a Wednesday, maybe even a Tuesday, why are you trying to rush me? Why won't you give me time to collect my thoughts? Why are you trying to hurry up and get this movie out there before my review can come out there and affect the people that's going to watch it or not? What are you scared of? All I'm going to say is when I found out when I'm supposed to go watch Kraven, I was shocked. Because I was like, oh, y'all just going to make this at the most inconvenient time possible. Like, is that what we doing? Like, I will have to take a day off work if I want to go see this. Y'all might as well just play this at 2:00 in the morning. Just play it at 4:00 in the morning, and whoever show up. Just do that at this point. If this was not my job to just do for y'all know I wouldn't do this. Like, if I did not have to do this, I'd be like, man, if this movie come out, it come out, whatever. I ain't thinking twice about it. I'm going to see if I can go. I guess now I might have to call off work to go see this. I might have to. Y'all know I got a 9 to 5 too. Anyway, how y'all feel about this? Like, are y'all going to listen to the director? He begging y'all. He is pleading with y'all. He's like, yo, please don't judge me by the previous crap. Please just come and watch this and see what happens. Now, listen, maybe it's fine. Maybe. Oh, I almost forgot a yellow flag. They released the first 8 minutes of the movie. Ain't no way. You mean to tell me your movie is so good, you got to show me the first 8 minutes of anything? You know what that reminds me of? That's like you know, I'm trying to think of like the Bugs Bunny commercial or the Bugs Bunny cartoon back when, like, you know, you trying to attract somebody, so you kind of show them a little skin. You pull up that leg just to show them a little skin. You know, like, what you showing me the first 8 minutes for? That's another red flag. And forget the yellow flag. That's another red flag. Why? That's how you got to spoil the first 8 minutes of the movie to get me in? Y'all be telling on yourselves. That I don't know. Anyway, what do y'all think about Kraven? Will you be watching? Why don't y'all have y'all advanced tickets yet? Why didn't y'all go buy y'all tickets for this? Let me know if y'all gonna go watch it or if you gonna wait. Whatever. Let me know in the comments down below. Quiet one. What's going on? What's up, E-Man? Sony needs to just work with Marvel for all extended Spider-Verse films and not flying solo, and don't go near live action Miles without Marvel. This sounds like common sense. I think the problem that might happen, one thing we do not know is that Marvel and Sony came up with a new deal. I don't believe we know the details of their new deal yet. So it's possible that Marvel might be like, hey, we done made you 3 movies. Because Marvel makes those Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland now. Okay, I want people to understand that. Sony is not making those things. When Marvel does a movie with Sony, Marvel basically says, we'll take production, we'll make the movie, give us a small little cut, 20%, something like that, and you guys get to keep the profits. Y'all get to keep the distribution. It's your movie. Let us just make it for you. Oh, and by the way, we keep the merchandise, which is real money. The question is Marvel going to keep that same energy? Because the Spider-Man movies have been making buku bucks every time. 800 to a billion, 1.5 billion. Y'all don't think that next Spider-Man movie is not going to do some stuff, especially if they bring back the trio again? If they bring back all the Spider-Man, if they have Spider-Man, you know, meeting Venom or having the black suit or something like that, y'all don't think that movie could maybe get up to $2 billion? It's possible it's possible Marvel will be like, hey man, listen, I know we had this partnership and all, but we kind of want a little bit more bread. Like, we making y'all a lot of money here. It'd be nice. And it's not like they'd be unreasonable, but Sony might be like, hell no. Hell no. This is our character. We own the rights. We not budging. And guess what? Sony and Rothman, I'll never forget, this dude said, basically, we got the notes. We learn what we need to learn from Kevin Feige. We can make these Spider-Man movies if we wanted to. No, you cannot. You had your time. You show that you can't even work with the side pieces, and you think we're gonna give you the main course meal to work with? Get out of here. Get out of here. How you gonna burn the salad? Y'all burnt the salad, and now you want to work on the mac and cheese? You want to touch the turkey? Go in the corner. Go in the corner. You're not gonna touch this. Okay, you can't. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that deal continues. Shogun, what you got? Thank you so much. For me, them saying it's fun is a red flag, because yeah, Captain Obvious, it's a movie. Next, they'll point out it's actually has sound too. Right. Listen, like I said before, I don't like the it's a fun movie thing. mainly because, like, why don't you talk? Like, it's always been an excuse for we don't have a good script. The characters are not good. Like, you don't have to sell me on the fun. If the movie's fun, let me tell you that it was fun. I don't need y'all telling me it was fun. Let us tell you that. Anyway, DJ, what you got? Sony just needs to sell Spider-Man, for the love of God, please. I could say more, but my feelings for Sony would get me banned for life. So here's the thing. I had said this a long time ago, similar to what happened with Fox and the X-Men. I forget, and if somebody can look it up, feel free. I forget how much Disney bought Fox for. I think it was 30 billion. I think, don't quote me on that. But basically, Disney bought Fox. And if you think about it, 30 billion, well, for everything, not just the X-Men, but that's a good deal, right? Because not only do you have access to all of the Fox library, which is already on Disney Plus, not only do you have the Predator and you got all these other properties that you can make money off of, the X-Men coming in. First of all, you already recouped almost 2 billion of that from Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Just because you got that. Just because 71 billion. Yeesh. Either way, long term, it's a good deal. Long term. I was saying before Marvel made that deal with Sony, before they said, hey, we're going to do the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I said, before y'all do that, if I was Bob Iger, I would have been like, hey, Sony, I see y'all need some help. We going to cut you a check for $10 billion to give us Spider-Man right back. Now, that sounded like a lot of money back then, but I want you to think about that. Back in, what was it, 2015 or whatever, do y'all know how much Sony purchased Spider-Man from Marvel? They basically, because Marvel was doing a fire sale. They were like, we got all these characters. What do y'all want? What do you want? You know, Fox was over here like, hey, man, let's give us them X-Men. We'll take them X-Men. We'll take them little Fantastic Four off your hands. And Sony was like, man, I don't know. Give me that Spider-Man for $5 million. $5 million is all Spider-Man costs. All his characters, all his right. $5 million. I want to say Marvel tried to give them other characters like, hey, don't you want this Iron Man? Don't you want this Captain America? And Sony was like, man, well, get out of here. Get out of here. We don't need that. We got our Spider-Man. We out of here. If you can sit here and say, we will give you $10 billion. Now, they can't do that now because the value of Spider-Man has gone up. But back then, before Homecoming, $10 billion would have been something Sony would have still needed time to earn to replace that. There's no way in 10 years Sony would have made Spider-Man movies that would have earned them $10 billion. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that would have been a great price. But had Marvel bought it for $10 billion, what, in 2015, you would have had Spider-Man in all these other movies, elevating all your profit up, because every time he shows up, that's going to get butts and seats, and y'all would have recouped that $10 billion in 5 years, maybe even less. So yeah, they messed up. They messed up because now, if I'm Sony, I wouldn't take 10 billion. I'd be like, nah, man, that's going to be about a good 25 to 30 billion for Spider-Man. You're going to have to cough up some big bucks for that. Now, for one character, right? That's tough. That's tough. But Marvel, I don't know. Kevin Feige likes to play nice with them, but I don't know. Eric, what you got? The 8-minute footage suckered my wife in, and now I have to take her true love. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not right. I'm sorry. Listen, I hope Kraven is good. I hope it's good. I hope every movie is good, but we know the track record. That's the problem. We know too much. We've seen too much from them. And that's what causes all of this distrust. All right. Next up, Jonathan Majors. Yes, that's right. But thankfully, this time, it's not bad news. It's not bad news. In case you did not know, Jonathan Majors had finally a positive turn, given all of his legal troubles. As if many of you have followed my channel, or you could watch my videos as we covered it, he was accused of all these different things. He got convicted on some misdemeanors for third-degree assault, I want to say, with his altercation with Grace Jabari, his ex-girlfriend. But and while that was all happening, he went through this whole downfall of losing all his reputation, representation. His reputation took a hit, lost a lot of roles, commercials, etc. But lately, he's been trying to hold on. But what turned out after the whole trial was that Grace Jabari actually filed another defamation suit against him. And this was basically another ding, to have this headline once again. But it seems like things have turned out more positive because his ex-girlfriend has dismissed the federal lawsuit against him. This was last week, I want to say. Her attorney said that the suit had been settled very favorably. Jabari sued him in March, alleging that he had defamed her by continuing after the guilty verdict to maintain that he had never laid his hands on a woman in an interview with Good Morning America, which I had said even from then he did not need to do those interviews. I kept saying that he needed to just lay low and let this stuff die out. But it says here that the lawsuit that she filed against Jonathan Majors had been favorably settled. And I think that was it. Yeah. So in other words, he paid her off. Simple as that. Whatever that amount is, obviously that's going to be behind closed doors. But he went ahead and just paid her off. But now this thing is done, at least with him and her. But that's not it for the good news. In case you guys did not know, Jonathan Majors and his boo thing, Megan Good, they done got engaged, right? So now they are tying the knot, and the two are going to walk down that aisle. So this, as you can see, look at his cheesy face. Listen, I understand the face. I understand it. Listen, in another world, I can understand a man being engaged to Megan Good having a big cheesy face like that. I get it. I understand. But this is what I was saying also. If you are coming off of a lawsuit, I said another man in a different world. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Leave me alone. I said, look, in another word, I didn't say me. What are you looking at? Anyway, put your finger down. Put your finger down. Go away. Y'all see, I didn't say me. I didn't say nothing about me. I didn't say nothing about me. I'm trying to be objective. Please go away. Please go away. She always popping up. That made me lose my thought. Oh, I did say that the key for Jonathan Majors, especially coming off of those headlines, because I told y'all, doesn't matter whether you agree with the verdict or not, the headlines are bad news for him. Just period. In Hollywood, you don't want negative headlines. But with those kind of headlines, the best thing that he could have had was to have a black woman right there next to him, holding him down. It was a good thing, whether it was a PR move or not. I know some people believe it was PR. Either way, it's good. It's a good thing for him. It's a good thing for his image. It's a good thing for his reputation. And now to put a ring on it is even better. So, and I was saying, if you're gonna have Megan good, you better treat her good. Because if there was any type of issues, we broke up, what that would only fuel the negative headlines even more. So now this engagement sounds great. It sounds amazing for him. And now, of course, we have to ask the question: should he come back? Is this enough to have the lawsuit dismissed? The defamation lawsuit, that is. You have that dismissed. You done wifed up, or you're about to wife up, the girl. Is this enough damage control that would warrant Marvel to be like, hey, big head, come on back and do this Kang thing? I have two thoughts on that. One, I don't know. I don't know if Marvel is in that place. Actually, let me back that up. I don't know if Disney is in that place. Keep in mind, Disney runs Marvel. There have been multiple times that Marvel is like, yo, it's not a big deal. Yo, we're cool with this. Remember, Marvel was cool with ScarJo. Disney was the one that didn't want to pay her and went through that lawsuit. Remember, Marvel was cool with James Gunn. Disney was the one that fired him because of some old tweets some people pulled up. Marvel usually is okay with certain things, but Disney, their daddy, they care about image. They're, you talking about some old executives, people that care about image. They might not know all the details. They like, lawsuit, conviction. So the question is, will Disney be okay with this? This is where I'll probably lean into saying no. I don't believe that Disney, not Marvel, I don't believe Disney will be okay with bringing Jonathan Majors back. But my second point, look who y'all just elected. Look at who y'all just elected. If y'all could sit here and elect that, I don't want to hear nobody talking about no morals about nothing. Nothing. And I'm more than positive a good chunk of y'all at Disney, maybe even Marvel, maybe voted a certain way. So if the country can be led by people with that kind of track record, I'm not going to trip terribly over a couple misdemeanors, because clearly America don't care. It's not a deal breaker for America. So I don't see why it has to be a deal breaker for a movie. So once again, because I see some people don't understand the difference. If the moral high ground of the highest position in the country is over here, then this should not be something that should be equivalent. This should not be something that people should be outraged by. This should not be a line that people are afraid to cross. That's the point. That is the point for anybody that's lost. If y'all can sit here and elect folks and ignore certain criteria, then I'm sure you could do it for a little old actor in a little old movie. Anyway, you guys let me know. How do you feel about this positive news for Jonathan Majors? Do you think Marvel and Disney should go ahead and bring him back? Or do you think maybe it's time for a different actor? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Quiet one, what you got? I think they should bring him back and give the character a good send-off going into the Doomsday. Let him have an on-screen face-off with wishing out loud. Yeah, I think that would be fair. I think that would be okay. My only concern, because I've been saying this for the longest, right? I've been advocating that getting rid of Kang was premature. Trying to skip over the Kang effect, mainly because y'all messed up. right? Marvel, you guys messed up with that Ant-Man movie. There was no reason Ant-Man should have been defeated by some super ants. That was stupid. Whoever greenlit that, sorry, Kevin, that's on you. You can't take your pinnacle villain of a phase and have him lose to a C-level character. Like, what do you? That's anti-comics knowledge. Like that you don't do that. So, you know, to me, I've always said that Kang, because a lot of people believe that, oh, well, the hype around Kang died. Yeah, because the story was bad. But guess what? You write another story. You write a different and better story to elevate the character. And then guess what? The hype will come back. How many bad movies did Thor have? Thor had 3 bad movies. Yes, I do believe Thor 1 was not very good. Thor had 3 bad movies, and he had 1 great movie. And that 1 great movie salvaged his, his popularity. It resurged him back into the forefront. So miss me. Anybody can talk about Kang is done. Miss me with that. Tell me you don't know how to write stories without telling me. A good story will revive any character, and it'll generate hype, period. So yeah, I just hope that they don't I hope they don't do it cheaply. And what I mean by that is, do y'all remember in What If how they have abused and mishandled Thanos? That's what I don't want them to do with Kang. I don't want Avengers Doomsday to show up, and in the first 5 seconds, Dr. Doom comes in, slams Kang around, flips him around, and disintegrates him in like 5 seconds. That to me would be whack. Or Kang, the Council of Kang, they're talking about, okay, we're gonna break out, and then all of a sudden Doomsday is like, nope, and blows them all up, and that's it. That to me would be kind of whack. Like, at least let Kang do some domination first. At least let Kang go wax a couple Avengers first. At least let Kang establish the fact that he's actually a real villain. The villain that y'all teased, remember him? Are you the one with the hammer? Give us that Kang. Give us that version of Kang. And then once we see him demolish the Avengers or whoever, then you can bring in Dr. Doom and, establish the hierarchy. That's okay. It's okay. We always know there's going to be one bigger bad that's going to be worse than the other. We know that. But give Kang his due. He deserves that. Sorry, I had to go off on that because that really does bother me. Especially if you're going to bring Jonathan Majors back just for that, just to get rid of him so quickly. I don't like that. Shogun, what you got? But are we risking normalizing said bad behavior if we start to let things slide in cases like Majors? I think the way to go is in the middle. He got roasted too much, but don't let things slide. I think the best way to approach that is to take it case by case. I don't think that we should normalize any bad behavior. I do believe that people should be accountable. I do believe that everyone should go through due process. And I also believe that even if people go through and do bad things, if they are held accountable, if they are punished, and if they are remorseful, if they show true contrition, as in a real change of heart, followed by real change of action, I believe everybody deserves a second chance. And I think that's a standard everyone would want for themselves. I think everybody who's made a mistake in life, because none of us are perfect, I think if any one of us made a mistake and we really changed our ways, or we really, put in the work to better ourselves, we would want a second chance. So that would be my standard for anybody who has done something wrong or whatever. So I don't think we even need a middle ground. I think we just need a process. You did something wrong, you get punished, you do better next time, and then maybe over time you get a second chance. So JN, maybe Kang Doom Civil War like fight. Sure. I mean, like, listen, we don't need an entire movie about Kang and Doom. I mean, that'd be cool, like, to me, if you said Kang took up 50 to 70% of the Doomsday movie, great. And then, of course, we always knew Dr. Doom was coming anyway. If he comes in and waxes everybody, great, fine. That's okay too. I'm okay with that. But just don't let it be some one and done, type of thing that just waste time or whatever. Like, I don't like that. That to me feels cheap. All right. Man, what a transition. So, y'all want to talk about y'all movie, Cap 4? It's coming out in February. So, Cap 4. Now, let me give this preference. Let me preface this, of course. This is just a rumor. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't even know if I trust this source. So, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I haven't seen it refuted, and it kind of tracks with everything that we've heard before. So we've talked about some of the issues with Cap 4. It went through some reshoots. No, I'm sorry. It had a screening, didn't go too well. According to the rumors, people that saw it said it was boring. Action was lackluster. Again, rumors. Then we heard about the reshoots. Now, reshoots are normal. That does happen. However, it was said that they had to go bring in a whole new writer to come in and fix a lot of the action sequences. That's a lot. It's one thing to say, we got to do this because the audience didn't understand this part of the movie. Let's shoot it from a different angle, or let's add an extra line of dialogue to explain this. So that's normal for a reshoot. But to bring in a whole new writer and have them rewrite a significant part of the movie, yikes. Now, that happened. And it seems like once you go do and you make your big fixes, you're supposed to go do some more screenings. You go figure it out, be like, all right, we fixed all the damage. Now what? Are y'all good with this? Supposedly, according to this rumor, people had a receptive. They said what they felt. It says Captain America: Brave New World is currently being changed due to another negative test screening. It's unclear if this will include another batch of reshoots or simply just re-editing. The last time we heard of a movie that had a bad test screening, major reshoots, another test screening, and was still bad, do y'all remember what movie that was? It was Aquaman 2. Do y'all remember how bad Aquaman 2 was? What hurts me is if this movie is terrible, I want y'all to just move the date. I would beg Marvel to just move Cap 4 to March 1st. Or Move it to January 1st. I don't want this to be a part of Black History Month. Please don't. If this movie's not hitting on all cylinders, if this movie is not as good as Black Panther, if not better, which we know it's not, don't let this touch a day in Black History Month. We don't want this history. This ain't the history that we want. We don't want a Black man representing America to show up and underperform. You already have the people that ignorantly believe that DEI automatically means lack of merit. You already have people that believe that. You cannot go put your DEI Captain America on Black History Month to set them up to fail. You cannot do that. If this movie is bad, put it in March, let it die peacefully. Put it in January. Everybody forgets January movies. Put it in January. Leave February out of this. February does not need this in the record books. But once again, this is just a rumor. Make of that what you will. Grain of salt. Y'all know the rest. Guys, what do you think about this rumor? How do you feel about it? Does it have you worried? Are you concerned? Maybe you don't believe it. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. JN, rooting for Cap. Looks like they dropped the ball. I listen. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be bad. I'm really hoping that it's okay. I'm hoping that it's at least okay. I've already told y'all though, I'm not looking forward to a lot of movies that were planned out during the pandemic, because that was the era when they were in a different mindset. I'm not looking forward to those movies. Deadpool and Wolverine was the only movie that I was like, okay, y'all about to do something with this, because it was more Ryan Reynolds than it was Marvel Studios. So yeah, I don't know. Quiet one. At this point, they could have put all this time, energy, and money into a Blade franchise and shelved Cat 4 instead. Yeah. That would help. That would help. That would help. All right, let's we got 2 more topics left. Speaking of Marvel, Kevin Feige recently attended a convention. I think, what was this called? It was like an Asian convention. But he talked about the future of the MCU. It says here, Feige made a live virtual appearance at the opening of the Disney APAC content showcase. This was held in Singapore. He pointed at the hat when asked which Marvel title he was most excited for. As you can see, well, maybe kind of, sort of, there's a big old 4 on there. He said, finally, we're bringing Marvel's first family into the MCU. They wrap next week. The movie comes out next summer. And then all those characters go right into the next Avengers movies. So I'm excited for the future of the Fantastic Four. Now, I have said this before, and I'll say it again. I am not excited for the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four seems like one of those properties that if you are in Marvel, you like them. Like, as a comic reader, I've never been excited by the Fantastic Four. I've always liked the Fantastic Four when they are supporting characters. When they come in, like, listen, hey, man, the world is about to explode. Avengers, what y'all gonna do? We don't know. Hey, we got to figure something out. Get Reed Richards. Cool. Bring in the Fantastic Four for that. But for their individual stories, their group stories, no thank you. Unless Jonathan Hickman is writing it, no thank you. Like, they're not compelling. Galactus to me is not a good villain for TV, movies, or even the comics. Like, unless you Franklin Richards or Thor or some big cosmic being, fighting Galactus is not entertaining. It's not okay. But whatever reason, Marvel's excited over this. So go figure. He says, let's see. Yeah, they're coming in 2025. Yep, we got that. Thunderbolts, which is also coming out May 2025. He said here it's taking characters from all different types of places and franchises and putting them together. That's what the Avengers is. That's what Guardians of the Galaxy is. Now, in terms of the X-Men, Feige said, I think you will see that continues in our next few movies with some X-Men players that you might recognize. Right after that, the whole story of Secret Wars really leads us into a new age of mutants and the X-Men. Again, it's one of those dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back. So, according to Kevin Feige, y'all gonna get y'all a little Wolverine here, maybe a little Gambit there, whatever. But after Secret Wars, that's when you're going to get the real X-Men. This is going to be the X-Men moving forward. And I've said this before. We saw how Marvel dropped the ball in phase 4. And they've kind of sort of stumbled along in phase 5. Shout out to Deadpool and Wolverine. The biggest test for Marvel, because people are like, oh, Marvel's done. Marvel's in shit. You don't know that. Be quiet. The biggest test for Marvel is going to be, what do you do with the X-Men? If the X-Men fail, Marvel fails. Spider-Man can only do so much. But if Marvel cannot get the X-Men right, Marvel's done. Ain't gonna be no Steve Rogers that can save them. Ain't gonna be no other Iron Man that's gonna listen. Robert Downey Jr. can only come through that door so many times. Okay. You're not gonna have no 70, 80-year-old Robert Downey Jr. trying to come in to save the MCU again. That's not gonna happen. The X-Men have to be done right. Now, we saw X-Men 97. They was cooking with straight bacon grease. But then we also saw how that didn't work out too well even though they had success. We saw the whole Bo DeMayo, situation go down, which my concern is that they are either going to water down or whitewash the X-Men moving forward in terms of how they're depicted, in terms of the story. It's just not going to have the same flavor and seasoning that Bo DeMayo put on it. I just don't believe it. I'm going to give it a shot, of course, but I feel like it's going to be more mainstream and it won't be as unique as it was prior to that. So with that said, X-Men is going to be the true test for Marvel. I know that's going to be in the next 3 years. They're going to play around, do some nonsense, crazy stuff, multiverse, blah, 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 until Secret Wars. But the real test on if Marvel Studios, Marvel movies can last, it's going to be the X-Men. We'll see. You guys let me know, how do you feel about what Kevin Feige had to say? Are you excited for Fantastic Four? Are you looking forward to Thunderbolts? How do you feel about the future of the X-Men? Do you think that we're still going to be in a Milky Way ghetto or not? I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. All right, let's get to our last topic of the day. So, Colman Domingo. Colman Domingo has been, first of all, a fantastic actor. I got a chance to meet him. I want to say it was like last year or so. Very super nice, very nice guy. Fantastic actor. I mean, to me, he does a very, very good job in terms of really diving into characters. And I mean, he's an Oscar nominated actor as well. He got nominated for Rustin. Movie was okay, but his performance was pretty good. So, there was a time, especially with the whole Jonathan Major stuff, that people were like, yo, if we talk about recasting Kang, what's up with Colman Domingo? Perfect, right? We've seen in previous interviews that Colman would basically say things like, he would love to join the MCU. He was saying how like he would like to play a villain even if he could. And yeah, I mean, like that was definitely to me an easy pick, but Marvel dragged their feet, nothing came about that, whatever. But it seems as though things have been happening because Colman Domingo has been in talks with Marvel, and he revealed that during this interview here, where he said that I have had a meeting with Marvel, yes, but it wasn't specifically about anything. They literally sat down and said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I don't know. What do you got for me?" So we're having engagement, of course. And he goes on to say, "Who would not want to be a part of the MCU? I just wouldn't want it. I just wouldn't want it to be right. And something that is created for me, and something where I feel like I can give something of myself to. So we'll find out what it is. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm patient." All right. If you guys have been following me, then y'all already know I could not let this go by. I could not let Colman Domingo sit here and talk to Marvel, because what the red flag that went up for me was when he was like, "What do y'all want? Like, what do y'all have for me?" And I'm sitting here like, "Oh, hell no, sir, you cannot allow them to make something up for you." Remember, it was now I'll give Marvel a little credit. They went out and found Chadwick Boseman. Cool. They picked him. It was Mahershala Ali that came to them and was like, "I want to be Blade." Okay. So they wasn't thinking about Blade until Mahershala Ali came through. So for Colman Domingo to sit here and be like, "I don't know, what do you got for me?" I'm like, whoa. First of all, where is your manager? Where is your agent? How dare they leave you out there just hanging like that at all? So of course, I don't know if y'all saw it, but like, I made a couple comments. I made a post addressed to him directly, and I made a plea. I said, "Listen, whatever role you take with Marvel Studios, do not settle for random unknown side characters, and do not cover up your black face on screen. Your acting deserves so much more." And I gave a couple roles that I believe could be part of it. Now, let me explain some of that though. I don't want him to cover up his face. What do I mean by that? Some people are like, "Hey, why don't you let him be Silver Surfer?" For what? So he could be a shiny silver man all day? No. And what you do? Just show a flashback of him being black one time? No. He's too good of an actor for that. What do you what else you gonna make him do? Be some alien covered up in makeup all day, and we just don't get to really see this black man on screen? I've been an advocate of black representation on screen for the longest. What does that mean? Part of that means seeing actual black people on screen. You know why? Because we don't blink when the main character just so happens to always be a white male. Even if they're in space, even if they're surrounded by aliens, we don't have no issues when it's a white male that's the lead. I want that same treatment for black people, also for other people of color, but I don't want him to compromise that. That's why I'm like, "Nah, man, don't go up there if they talking about like, hey, we can make you Apocalypse." Hell nah. So you can walk around with some blue purple makeup? Nah, man. Show your black face. Second, I don't want you to sit here and compromise for these unknown random side characters. Now, some people be like, "Oh, but what about High Evolutionary? Didn't he do a good job?" Yeah, what happened to him? Got his head busted open. What are you going to do with it? You going to have a High Evolutionary movie? Now, shout out to Chuck Woody. He did a great job. He did a great job as High Evolutionary. But I believe that Colman Domingo is better than that. Again, this is not even a diss to Chuck Woody. What I'm saying though is you got an Oscar nominated actor. He deserves more than just a role like High Evolutionary. Let me give y'all a couple examples because I know people gonna forget. Do y'all even remember Will Harper? Y'all remember Will Harper? Actor from The Good Place. Good actor. Good actor. Y'all remember him in Ant-Man? What the hell did he do in Ant-Man? Do y'all remember anything that he did in Ant-Man? I don't even know his character's name. Wasn't he like the telepath or whatever? Like, wasted that character. Who else we got? Now we haven't seen this yet, but I have always been a big advocate of Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, but they making him Wonder Man. Now, this is great for him because it's a lead role, but I'm sitting here like, man, Wonder Man ain't no like, bro, you could have been T'Challa. You could be T'Challa. He was my number one pick for a long time. Y'all remember him, Black Mantis? You know, Black Manta from Aquaman. Like, this brother is talented, but he's gonna go play Wonder Man on a Disney Plus show, I guess. Who else we got? Probably one of their biggest fumbles. What was Heimdall doing? What was the point? You take a good actor. This is right off The Wire. This is after my man is really starting to come up. And I believe, and I don't have the interview right now, but I believe even he expressed regret in taking that role. You gonna go out there and be Asgard's eyeballs? What? Sir, you could have been somebody else. You could have been a lot of other characters. And that's what you're gonna be? Wasted. And that's why even in Thor 3, they had to force his character because his stardom was starting to climb. He was outgrowing, the actor was outgrowing the boo-boo role. So they made the character outgrow and do stuff that was unnecessary. I didn't care 2 bits about Heimdall at all. And probably one of the biggest ones that I already know. What the hell is this? How dare y'all take Giancarlo Esposito, one of the most prolific actors that we have out there, and y'all gonna make him Sidewinder. This is, by the way, this is Sidewinder right there. That's who Sidewinder is in the comics. Now, they didn't put that stupid makeup on him or whatever, but this is what you gave him. This is the man who, for the longest time, was sitting here saying, you know what? People have been asking me to play Magneto, but I really want to play Professor X. This is a man who has been, I don't know if he won, but at least Emmy nominated, you know, for Breaking Bad, playing Gus. This is the man, when he gets on screen, we know he's going to deliver. But this is also what happens, because remember, even though he has publicly expressed, I want to be Magneto or I'll be Professor X, I'll do that, Marvel sat him down and they was like, this is what we want for you. And what's even crazier, according to the reports that, remember, we heard from Esposito, he was sitting here saying, oh, I'm going to play a character that might even get their own spinoff show. Sir, nobody's going to watch that. Nobody's about to watch the Serpent Society, what, blah, blah, blah. What? No. I want the best for Giancarlo. I support everything he does. This is why I'm concerned, because I want better for them. If I was in the room with him, I would have been like, no deal. Walk away. No. You're not going to give him some role that all of a sudden is not going to be fruitful later. And then you're going to be like, I don't know what happened. There's no hype around Sidewinder. What's going on? And this is my point. Marvel is no longer in the position it used to be in. So for all the people out there that are like, oh, but Marvel was able to make all these unknown characters work. Yeah, 10 years ago, that's when expectations were different. It's different when you have unknown characters from a studio you have little to no expectations for. I'm sorry. After almost 15 something years in the game, I'm expecting a whole lot more than Sidewinder from Marvel. I'm expecting the Fantastic Four. I'm expecting Doctor Doom. I'm expecting Apocalypse. I'm expecting X-Men. I'm expecting the Hulk. I'm expecting Spider-Man. I'm expecting Wolverine. I'm expecting their A game now that they have all their cards back. But yeah, back when they had their hand behind their back because they didn't have all the character rights, sure, give me Guardians of the Galaxy. Sure, give me these random characters that I don't really care about and you can make me love them. That's fine. You don't have to play handicap no more. You don't have to do that. You now are at the position where you can basically use all your weapons. You don't have to go to the bottom of the barrel no more. You can sprinkle them in, sure, but they don't have to be the way that you don't have to lead like that no more. So when it comes to Colman Domingo, I'm sitting here like, no, sir, you cannot sit here and just let Marvel do anything because they clearly are still stuck in that mindset of, hey, let's just give these prominent, talented Black actors these other unknown side property. Stop gambling with us. That's what I don't like. Because those are all gambles. Y'all didn't gamble with Reed Richards. Y'all not gonna gamble with Wolverine. You won't even give another white actor Wolverine. You're not gambling with that. Stop gambling with the Black characters and actors. I don't like that. Give us a sure thing. Give these actors a role that actually has potential to have its own movie or to actually be a recurring character in the MCU. So this is why I came up with my top 5 list of characters that I believe that Colman Domingo should absolutely be considering in Marvel. So first up, that I mentioned was Brother Voodoo. You bring in Brother Voodoo. For those of you that don't know, basically he's another sorcerer. He was a sorcerer supreme, also in Marvel. Give that to Colman Domingo. There's no way you could tell me that a powerful, somebody who's probably maybe even more powerful than Doctor Strange, come in. Maybe we get a Dr. Voodoo movie. Maybe we don't. But I bet you he could be a recurring character. I bet you that whenever you call Dr. Voodoo, oh, it's because Dr. Strange needs some help. It's because things have gone too off the rails. We need some real help. Now we can really get into this. So that to me would be the first one that I'd say, hey, you know what, Colman, if you're trying to go with something unknown, which I don't recommend, but if you had to go unknown, Brother Voodoo would be a good role to go with. Second of all, and I know a lot of y'all been saying this, and I've been saying this too. Let me go ahead and pull them up. Go ahead and be that Blue Marvel. It's time. It's overtime. It's beyond time. Colman Domingo as Blue Marvel, easy money. Easy money. Older looking. I know some people are like, oh, get Aldous Hodge. First of all, yes. But I'm saying if Colman Domingo became Blue Marvel, I would not have a problem with that. I would be very okay with that. This guy is one of the smartest, one of the most powerful type of characters. He has a fantastic origin story that you can clearly tap into. Colman Domingo already has done civil rights, racial type of things. He can play this role. So this is something that he can really get into. And Blue Marvel is a recurring character. Once again, When Ish goes down and we need the real help, you call Blue Marvel. When other people can't figure it out, you call Blue Marvel. That is a role that has potential not to just be cut off, be randomly killed off like Sidewinder or whoever. He's not some little peon. You have Colman Domingo be Blue Marvel. I think that right there would be fantastic. Next up, because I'm giving y'all my top 5. You make him the easy pick because he said he wanted to be a villain. Let him be Kang. Kang would be the easiest character he could jump into and play. It's the easiest one. He can sit here and just give off all of his range as possible. So I think that him as Kang would be perfect. He will get his wish to play a villain. He'll get his wish to be, I think, a reoccurring villain. Because that's, by the way, people keep thinking that you can get rid of Kang. You can't get rid of Kang. Kang is a constant in time. He's everywhere, right? Forget the TVA. The TVA, oh, we take care of. No, you can't. You can't take care of Kang. Okay, Kang done made the TVA. So yes, you have this man with this amazing acting range and talent be Kang the Conqueror, pick up the ball right where Jonathan Majors left off. Now, again, that's if Jonathan doesn't come back, and he will dominate. He will do a great job with this. Before I get to my next two, I saw somebody say, I've seen people comment and say Bishop. I would say no to Bishop only because I think Bishop, the way he's been portrayed, he's usually portrayed as someone younger. He's usually a younger guy in his 30s, no later than his 40s at most. Colman is about 50-something years old. So I'm trying to give him roles that I think are age appropriate for him. And I think Bishop, because of his role with the X-Men, he should be a character that we can see multiple times. And by the way, Coleman's a little skinny. He's a thin guy. He's in shape, but he's a thinner guy. I just think that you can give it to a young strapping black actor, you know, that's coming up. Matter of fact, maybe Aldous Hodge might want to be Bishop too. I don't know. But anyway, let me get to my last two. Now, this one, this one got people in a tizzy. Oh, people was mad when I said this. Ooh, let me get this up. Let me see if I can get this. People was so mad when I mentioned the second role that Colman Domingo could play. And that was Magneto. I said, go ahead and make this man Magneto. Why? Once again, prominent role. You ain't getting rid of Magneto. Recurring role, right? You definitely need to know how to act. You need acting ability if you're going to play Magneto. And of course, you know, he could do what he wants to do with it. So now here's the thing. A lot of people was like, oh my God, E-Man, you can't make black man Magneto. He's got to be Jewish. First of all, y'all do know that there could be black Jewish people, right? Like, you do know that. Okay, but never mind that. Then people was like, oh my gosh, he's got to be a Holocaust survivor. Let's do some math. Just some quick math here. Let's see. The Holocaust. So 28 minus 19. 30. Let's just be generous. Okay, we're just gonna be generous and round up. Keep in mind, after Secret Wars in Marvel, the year will be around 2028, give or take. Y'all want a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor as Magneto? You really want a 90-plus-year-old man to play Magneto? Did y'all learn nothing from the Fox era? You learned nothing from Fox. So, again, even if Coleman's in his 50s, you mean to tell me that he can't play a civil rights era type of person. I mean, even if we just grant him slower aging, let's just say that mutants, powers, whatever. The thing about Magneto is not that he's a Holocaust survivor. The thing about Magneto is that he is part of a repressed and oppressed group that suffered a lot. Guess what? And we're not playing competition, the oppression Olympics here. Black folks have suffered too. Jewish people are not the only oppressed group in this world, in this history. You can have, especially with the multiverse, a black version of Magneto who survived or lived through some really racial oppressive stuff and still come out with the same mentality that Magneto has. Because once again, the X-Men, they're all about being oppressed minority groups. It doesn't have to be the Holocaust. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can absolutely be just being black. Being black will make some. Let me tell you something. Y'all mean to tell me that if a black man in the 1960s, 70s, whatever, had mutant powers, you don't think that man would have a grudge against the world? In this storytelling, you don't think he would have a similar grudge? Anyway, so the Magneto thing, maybe, right? I think that there's potential to go with that if they wanted to. By the way, listen, I just think it would be hilarious if they cast Colman Domingo as Magneto, and if they cast Professor X as a light-skinned black man. I just think the way they would clash, where you have the Professor X like, hey, can't we all just get along with everybody? And then you got the dark-skinned Magneto like, hell no. I'm just saying, I think that would be a very interesting dynamic to see on screen. I'm just saying. All right. But anyway, the number one role that I give to Colman Domingo is, again, it fits all the different categories, being, a villain, displaying his range, showing his acting ability, not really hiding his face, just checks off all the boxes. It's none other than Norman Osborn. I believe that he should absolutely play Norman Osborn. I think this would be the easiest thing. And by the way, did y'all know that he already is cast as Norman Osborn in the animated Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? He's already actually going to voice Norman Osborn. So it's like, yo, give that man some waves and let him go ahead and play the role. Now, the reason why I say this is a perfect casting again is because you can see the range between him. If you've watched Fear the Walking Dead, he's played that devious corporate villain type of guy. He can do that easily. And then I believe that this man would be amazing, an amazing Goblin. He will beat the brakes off of Peter Parker. What? If Willem Dafoe could do it, y'all don't think that he could do that too? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I think that, yeah, if Colman Domingo really wanted to have a role that was prominent, that was going to be reoccurring, that he could really sink his teeth into as an actor, Norman Osborn would be it. All right. Well, guys, that's my top 5 for Colman Domingo. Like I said, I just don't want great actors to settle for less. I want them to, if you're going to get great talent like this, if you want to make the MCU great again, this is how you go about it. You got to give them those big roles that they can really just get into. But you guys let me know, what do you think? Maybe you have some other roles that you can think of for Colman that I didn't, but whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. JN, Colman is Mr. Sinister or no with the locks? No thanks. I don't want him hiding his face. Mr. Sinister, he could play the role. Yes, he could play it. No, I don't. No, I don't think so. Like, he doesn't need to play that. Mr. Sinister, he can play it, but I just don't want him under all the makeup. I don't like black actors going under makeup, because what ends up happening with that is it gets checked off as a diversity mark. You know, it's kind of like, hey, look at all the diversity we got. We got a black person in Guardians of the Galaxy. Who? You mean Gamora, the green girl? You know, like, I don't like that. I don't like that. If you're going to have minority actors or whatever, and you really want to show them, show them. Don't put them under makeup. And I feel like Mr. Sinister would be him under makeup, and I wouldn't like that. DePaul, what you got? Imagine this. At the end of Secret Wars, Kang is revealed to be the next big bad. Before revealing that him being defeated in Ant-Man 3 was just a ruse, but a ruse, and part of his master plan. What do you think? I fully support whatever, as long as it's a good story. That's fine by me. I've already put out a theory of how Kang could return. And I believe one of the discarded scripts actually confirmed my theory of how he like escaped, how he comes back. But I don't know if they're gonna adapt that. But listen, if you want to bring Kang back, I'm fine with that. Like, give that villain his due. That's all. So I'm cool with that. Natalie, what you got? I'm late, but we back, E-Fam, battling the cold. Hope you feel better. But thank you for coming through. You missed your segment. I think you missed your segment. Ism, if Marvel is smart, they have him play Blue Marvel. I think that'd be fantastic. Blue Marvel, I think, would be an excellent, easy role for him to jump into. And I think he would do a very, very good job with that. Natalie, what you got? What do you think of Afrobeat singer Thames playing Storm? I haven't. Let me see. Sorry. She's Nigerian and has a music video of her song "Get Right" where she's rocking the silver hair. Okay, listen, she looks very nice. I need more. I need more than people that cosplay. Because what's that wrestler's name? Jade Cargill. She looks like Storm. The wrestler, she looks like Storm, but can she act? That's the main thing. I don't care if you can sing. We're not doing X-Men the musical. Okay. I need to know if you can sing. I'm sorry. I need to know if you can act. I need to know if you can do the physical roles. That's what I need to. I need to know, can you hit that African accent? I'm sure she can, but I need the acting first. The looks, we got makeup, we got hair people, we got CGI. Can you act? Because Storm, to me, is, especially what we saw in X-Men 97. Storm, she has some good storylines that you really need someone to communicate. So I would say no. I would pass on this. But unless she had a hell of an audition that we just don't know about. But anyway, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. As I mentioned, it is the holiday season, so there's a very good possibility we just not gonna have no news. And if there's no news, there's nothing to talk about. So don't be surprised if there are fewer lives during the holiday break. Hollywood takes a break too. But of course, if there is something significant that pops up, I'm on it. We gonna go live. We gonna talk about it. But yeah, so and of course during Christmas break, I'm not gonna be available. I'm gonna be with the fam, so no live obviously during that time. So but anyway, guys, like I said, stay tuned for anybody watching from or has watched from. I've got huge things coming up you do not want to miss. If you've liked what I've been dropping so far, you gonna like what's coming up next. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna try and drop that tomorrow. And what else do we have? Yeah, and then I got some other from theories and stuff. But otherwise, guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. fantastic weekend. Just in case if I don't see you, I hope your Thanksgiving was great, stuffed. I hope y'all are not still eating leftovers. They're done. They're done. Throw them out. Please don't do this to yourself. But you know the routine, y'all. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Till next time. Peace.